Okay, guys, so this is the Balance Update Test Mod. This was posted by Alex007. Alexei runs basically StarCraft 2 esports at ESL. He's probably the most important person in StarCraft 2 at the moment. And he posted a link to this. So this is what they're thinking for the next patch. It's not confirmed yet. They're doing some tests with it. Apparently, it's a big one. I haven't read this at all. I haven't looked at this at all. So we're going to take a look, okay? Let's just make that a little bit bigger. A little bit easier to read. There we go. Okay, patch goals. Make Protoss more stable on a professional level in early game versus Raven pushes, and more able to fight Terran mid-late game armies without solely relying on disruptors. Increase the variety in the mid-game and the late-game army compositions by reducing the strength of massed ghosts, banelings, and disruptors. I like the idea of that. Make over-specialized units, such as Cyclones, Motherships, and Infestors, viable throughout more stages of the game. Okay. I think Infestors are more viable than these other two units, but okay. Bring more visual clarity to important units on the map, as well as relevant abilities like Widowmine targeting and Disruptor cooldown indicator. Okay. I'm not entirely sure I like that. I'm not entirely sure I like that, but we'll read on. Promote more interaction in late game scenarios by making it such as Tempest, Mothership, and Broodlord more maneuverable. Is that what that's going to do? I'm not so sure, but okay, let's start this. Table of contents. Okay, we'll just scroll down. Versus Terran, it starts off with. Cost reduced from 150, 100 to 125, 50. What the fuck? This better do like 2 damage. I can't even believe it already. 125, 50. That is so cheap. That is so cheap. Tech lab requirement removed. Holy shit. Okay, health down 20. Armor reduced. Okay, supply reduced. Okay. Auto attack range increased from 5 to 6. Auto attack damage, attack speed now 11. +2 versus armored. Okay. Lock-on now uses Cyclone auto attack damage. +1 damage per weapon upgrade. No longer ignores armor. Okay. Okay. Lock-on no longer has a delay before the first shot and maintains weapon cooldown between lock-ons. Okay. Lock-on cooldown removed. Lock-on cast range reduced from 7 to 6. Lock-on max range reduced from 15 to 9. Multiple Cyclones will now auto-cast lock-on onto the same target. Magfield accelerator upgrade removed. Move speed reduced. Ooh, okay, this is super important. And then an upgrade increasing move speed. Okay, this to me looks like a big buff. No, wait, let's just see what this says. Redesign of the Cyclone to make it into a more all-around unit in all matchups aims to increase the viability of mech-based gameplay against Protoss while promoting more active engagements with mech-based armies. Okay. Okay. So, look. Here's the big things. It's so much cheaper. It's less supply. Okay? And it gets a longer range. But it slows down. This is like the most important thing. If they left it at the same speed, this would be completely fucking broken, I bet you. And I think this is definitely a buff. This makes it more interesting. This seems like it's just a very good unit. A cheap, good unit that you can just pump out of factories. Way more interesting than the Cyclone as it is. The Cyclone as it is, in my opinion, is one of the least interesting, worst design units that we have. It's just not... It's just there's something so stupid about locking on and having 15 fucking range and just clicking around as if that's micro. That's not micro. Guess what? Right-clicking a Phoenix isn't micro either, and right-clicking a battlecruiser isn't micro either. I don't know why these units were designed like this. So I like the change. I like the idea. Okay, Ghost. Snipe damage reduced from 170 130. Plus 40 versus psionic. Okay. EMP radius reduced from 1.75 to 1.5. Reducing the radius of EMP will encourage Protoss to use Psystorm in the PvT matchup and help in straight-up engagements versus Terran armies. Snipe will no longer one-shot units such as Zealots and Roaches, as well as requiring an extra shot to kill Ultralists in the late game versus Zerg, generally reducing their cost efficiency over time while still being able to kill important spellcasters such as Vipers. That seems like a reasonable set of ideas. That does seem like a reasonable set of ideas. But we have to look at this one, I think, overall with everything else. So I don't want to say too much about this because this has a lot to do with what other things were changed. Okay, Widowmine. Drilling Claws no longer makes it unburrow twice as fast. So it only burrows like twice as fast. Targeting line is now more visible. Okay, that's what they meant by that. I thought they were going to like make the unit glow or something, which doesn't seem right. Return some of the strength. To active Widowmine Micro in the mid-game versus Zerg that was lost after Drilling Claws burrow speed nerf, while not significantly increasing the power of Widowmine drops. Oh, it now also makes them unburrow twice as fast. Okay, okay. I was very confused because I was like, wait, didn't it this nerf it? But okay, that makes sense. Okay. Medevac. Speed upgrade replaced with Cadius Reactor increases Medevac's energy regeneration rate by 100%. Upgraded from Fusion Core. Minimap radius increased from 0.75 to 1. So I'm assuming this means it's easier to see on the minimap. And then, like, no one uses the speed upgrade. But regeneration rate, that sounds actually really interesting. Because a lot of times you get into these positions as Terran where all your medevacs don't have energy. So I do like this idea. This is going to add some stability late game to Terran. Replaces the current unused medevac upgrade with an upgrade which could be used in active games with a large medevac count that run out of energy. Yeah. Standardizes minimap size of Warp Prism Medevac Overlord. Previously, medevacs could appear smaller in the minimap on large maps. I actually wasn't aware that it appeared smaller than Prism Medevac Overlord. Or, well, than Prism and Overlord. So that's actually very good to standardize that, I think. I think, like, all the drops should be the same size. That... It's like, if you don't have, if visually it's harder to see, it's just straight up harder to see in a certain matchup, that's lame. That's a stupid way to do it. Okay, Raven. Interference Matrix now requires a research. Research at the Starport's Tech Lab. Okay. 57 seconds, 50-50. Tech Lab. A single Raven open can currently disable multiple key defensive units in early pushes against Protoss. The cheat cost of the upgrade still allows for multiple Raven play in TVT and specialized builds in TVP. Yeah, I'm trying to think in my head what 57 seconds is going to feel like. I don't mind it. I don't mind it. Lurk. Okay, Zerg now. Okay, so those are the Terran changes. So overall Terran changes. Right, let's just scroll through that again. I think this is a much more interesting unit now. The Ghost, it's a nerf to the Ghost, obviously. Like, I don't know. This is, like, equal for Widowmines. Like, at the pro level, that line being more visible, I think will make some difference, but more of a difference lower league. And the Medevac, I think that's a buff. Well, this is a little bit of a nerf, but that's stupid, and that should have been fixed a long time ago. And this is a nerf to the Raven. Okay. Overall, like, this doesn't look like anything that will make Terran unplayable. And this actually, the Cyclone is a very interesting, very cool change. So I'm on board with the Terran changes. They look pretty good. Okay. Zerg Lurker. Adaptive Talons move speed bonus removed. The move speed bonus is gone. Okay. Cost reduced to 100, 100. Okay, so they're just going to burrow quicker. As some of the main counters to lurkers are getting nerfed, reduce the speed of repositioning lurkers in the late game. So that's maybe a nod towards, I think disruptors are getting a nerf, but then also ghosts got a nerf, right? And those are two of the big counters to lurkers. So making them so they can't just scuttle around the map quite as quickly seems reasonable. Infestor, Passaging Glands removed. Wow, that upgrade has been around forever in the exact same spot in the game. That hasn't been changed in 13 years or something. Crazy. Infestor starting energy increased to 75. No shit. Fungal growth cast range reduced. Fungal growth damage reduced from 30 to 20. That is really interesting. That is really interesting. So the cast range is going down because this here, that is a huge buff. As soon as you get the infestation pit, you can just start popping them out and just fungling immediately when they pop. That's amazing. That's really good. And reducing the damage and the range. Honestly, okay, so late game, that's going to make infestors worse late game, but that's going to make them better for the rest of the game. I think this is doing exactly what they stated they wanted to happen to infestors. Okay, since the infested Terran ability was removed, the infestor has no utility until reaching 75 energy. I don't think that it had utility with the throwing out one infested Terran. I don't consider to be utility, but okay, we'll go with that. Fungal damage and cast range is reduced to prevent infestors from killing Marines with 2 consecutive fungals as a trade-off to the EMP radius nerf in the TVZ late game. Okay, that's interesting that that's what they're naming this as why they did this, because I see that more as if you keep it as is, but they pop with it immediately, that almost feels too strong. So, like, giving this up to just be able to use them in the earlier game more consistently makes some sense, but I guess since ghosts are nerfed, that can make sense as well. Okay, Spire. Air armor upgrade costs reduced from 150, 225, etc., down to the same level as air weapons. Air armor is generally considered less useful than the air weapons upgrade despite being more expensive. Yeah, I guess. I like the difference between the cost of the armor and attack upgrades in StarCraft 1 because it actually makes for an interesting choice with the Mutalisks. Mutalisks are not as useful in StarCraft 2, so I see what they're saying with this, and I don't feel like I can really disagree. There's not a lot of situations where you want armor and not attack. Maybe if you went Muta versus Muta. It's the only thing I can really think of. So, okay, I'm on board. That's fine. Viper, consume damage reduced from 200 to 150. Reduces the attention required for gathering Viper energy. Hold on. Did they just buff the Viper? Wait. Am I reading this correctly? Did they just buff the fucking Viper? Like the best unit in the game? Who thought it was a good idea to buff what is already basically the strongest unit? That's wild. I don't understand why you would ever do that. I don't understand. It's not a huge buff, but, like, it's a buff, right? Okay, anyways. Broodlord. Move speed increased. Okay, that's a fair increase. Broodling move speed reduced. Okay. Broodling health reduced. Okay. Broodling attack speed reduced. So, it attacks slower, it has less health, it moves slower, but Broodlords move faster. Continuing in the direction of the last balance update, further increasing Broodlord mobility while further reducing the strength of Broodlings to compensate. Should allow for more active play in the late game. Make this not affect Broodlings from building deaths. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. Yeah. I actually like that. Thinking about that, I kind of like that, right? Because the broodlings are kind of stupid the way they clunk everything up. So just making those a little bit weaker is smart, and making the broodlords faster so you actually can maybe have hit and runs, or you don't just instantly lose all your broodlords to like a couple Thors standing there. Maybe they'll be able to actually retreat a little bit better. I think that's fine. I kind of like that type of change anyways. Overlord. Deceleration speed increased from 1.49 to 2.28. Generate creep delay reduced. Okay. I'm fine with this. I actually think that this is an underused tactic. We saw this used. Where do we see that used? I saw that used. Actually, I think we might have seen that in an ASL Cup, and I really went wild over it because there was like a very cool build. Yeah, it was against like Psystorm. And it was like Roach Ravager, and he just brought like 8 Overlords and dropped the creep and like just used that to micro around. I really like that type of play. I've always felt like drop creep is super underutilized. It really feels like something that could be a better thing to do. All right, deceleration speed increased. So how long it takes to slow down to nothing, I think? I'm a little bit confused about that. Reduce the amount of time it takes for Overlords to stop and begin dropping creep. To allow for more active usage of Queen drops. Okay, so that's like maybe a nod towards Queens not transfusing off creep anymore. Transport upgraded. Move speed increased. Okay. Move speed with pneumatized carapace increased. That makes sense to me, actually. Like, now I'm not saying that Zerg should be getting buffs realistically, but it is kind of stupid how slow drop Overlords are, even with the speed upgrade. It is a little bit stupid. They're pretty fucking slow. Like, when you compare them to speed prisms or medevacs, it's like it's not even a thing. So I don't mind getting a little buff there. Non-transport upgraded Overlords move speeds are unchanged. Okay. Allow for more active drop usage in combination with Baneling damage nerf. Should not increase overall strength of Baneling harass against Protoss. I'm excited to read about the Baneling nerf. I'm so excited. Because, like I say, the Viper's the best unit, but really it's the Baneling. We all know that. All right, Ultralisk. Cost reduced. Okay, by 25 mineral. Burrow, unburrow time much faster. Okay. Lurkers and Broodlords are generally favored over Ultralisks in the late game, as Ultras have poor cost efficiency over time. Should make them more used throughout long games while not greatly reducing the initial investment. While not... Wait, should make them more used throughout the game while not greatly reducing the initial investment. Oh, so like, you still have to spend a lot on them, I think is what that's trying to say. That's like a weird way to write that. All right, Hydralisk. Speed and range upgrades combined. Okay. Okay. I get it. Like, okay. Hey, thank you. Increase the speed at which Hydras come online in the mid-game for more quickly responding enemy air switches such as Mulus, and to supplement weaker Banelings against ground-based armies. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Strength of Hydra-based timings will be monitored versus Protoss during the testing period. Okay. Baneling, this is the important part. Bonus damage per upgrade reduced from 2+2 versus light to 2 versus all. Okay. Okay. That is going to massively nerf them against workers, which is important. Right? Like, everyone rushes +2 melee to just blow up probes. And now, +2, because that gives +8 damage, you're literally not going to one-shot probes anymore, right? If I'm right about this, you're not going to one-shot probes anymore. Centrifugal hooks cost reduced to 100. Oh, okay. Hooks research time reduced. Hooks health bonus removed. Whoa! The health bonus removed. Holy shit. Oh, and it even says here, will no longer one-shot probes or drones with +2 attack. Reduce some of the strength of mass Baneling armies in the mid-game and reduce the volatility in defending Baneling run-bys by reducing multiple Banelings to kill workers. The speed upgrade will require less of an investment to maintain similar balance for 2 base, Terran, Marine tank-based all-ins. Okay, this is fucking great. This is fantastic. Okay, this has needed to happen for so long. For so long. There's nothing stupider than watching Dark make 100 Banelings and right-click the other side of the map and win GSL, right? That's stupid, right? Can we agree on that? That shouldn't be a thing? Like, you should have to do more than make Banelings and right-click them, right? Move command. Not even attack move. Move. Move command. No, thank you. This is fantastic. This makes sense. This makes sense. Let them get it a little bit easier. Moving the health bonus. If I'm not mistaken, if you size storm those Banelings while they're rolling towards you and they roll through a full size storm, they'll die without that health bonus. I am 99% sure of that, right? Baneling. This is a big nerf to Banelings, but they can still be used. Damn. This is crazy. This is an awesome. This is amazing. This should happen. Please keep this whole thing in. All right, Protoss. Okay, wait, let's take a look at Zerg again, just the overall idea, right? Okay, Lurkers, slight nerf. Infestor, really interesting change. Better early game, worse late game. Spire, okay, yeah, cheaper armor, that's fine. Buff to the Viper. Woo! Okay, whatever. Broodlord. Faster, but Broodlings are worse. Overlord. Better for drops. Ultralisk, little bit cheaper. The Burrow Unburrow, I don't think is something we'll see used, but okay. Hydralisks, slightly better. Banelings, considerably worse, but still usable. This is fucking great. This is great overall. Love it. Love it. Okay, Protoss. Forge. Shield upgrade. Reduced. Okay, so same for level 1. Level 2 is cheaper. Level 3 is cheaper. Okay, shield upgrades are less useful than attack armor upgrades for both air and ground units in different scenarios. Current changes help increasing costs. Efficiency ratio for shield upgrades. That is completely fair. That's a silly thing about Protoss is that their upgrades just do not scale as well as the other races. All right, Cybernetics Core. Air armor upgrade cost reduced, just like the Spire. Yep, makes sense. Minimap radius increased. Oh, okay. So what they're doing is they're bringing Medevac and Warp Prism in line with an Overlord. That's what it is. We saw that before. That makes sense. Good stuff. You want those the same size. It's silly to make someone have sharper eyes. Okay, Disruptor. Supply costs increase from 3 to 4. Nice. Model scale reduced by 9%. That's interesting. Okay. Radius increase from 0.5 to 0.625. Does not affect collision with buildings. Wait. So their model scale is reduced and their radius is increased? What does that even mean? What? What does that mean? Someone help me. You can see their outline more, less model stacking. Oh. Okay. What? Okay, I think I see what we're saying here, right? Because if you have a big group of disruptors, they clump together in such a way it looks really fucking stupid. It's really hard to actually count them and stuff, so... it is currently hard to tell which disruptors have Purification Nova available when multiple are clumped together and the models intersect with each other. The goal of... So that should help that, I guess. The goal of supply cost increases is reduce the potential of mass disruptor armies while still allowing Protoss players to use disruptors as a strong mid-game and late-game tool. Okay, this is good. This is good. I like this. And I especially like the supply increase. Like, the other stuff makes sense now that I've read what it's intended to do. The supply increase makes sense because this is something I've talked about a lot in my casting for the last few years. The supply efficiency of Banelings and Disruptors are unbelievable. For their supply, they are way, 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 way too strong. And a lot of things in StarCraft 2 are balanced around supply. Like the Roach, when it was 1 supply, way too strong. At 2 supply, oh wow, it doesn't scale that well. You can't just go Roach and win the game because your opponent can max out and you're fucked, right? The same type of idea exists here with Disruptor and Baneling. They're just too strong for the supply. That's a huge issue with both of them. I love that change. And Disruptors are kind of stupid, honestly. Bad unit design, in my opinion. So I'm glad to see them get a nerf. All right, Void Ray, prismatic alignment, move speed with flux veins increased. Okay. 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 Previously, there was an issue where flux veins decreased the move speed of Void Rays, while prismatic alignment was active when it was intended to remain the same. I had no idea. I had no idea about that. That's crazy. Okay. You can actively micro them without canceling the prismatic alignment. That's fine. Fix that. That's stupid. I had no idea that that was a thing. All right, Tempest. Acceleration, deceleration increased from 2.1 to 4.2. Wow. Radius model scale reduced by 10%. Improve the feeling of actively microing Tempest, as the slow accelerations make them feel slow to respond when not already moving. Okay, that seems really fair. They actually do feel very slow. Like when they're just static and you tell them to go, their accel is bad. So that I like that. Ooh, let's take a look. Mothership. From 400 to minus 250, minus 250. Supply cost to 6. Build time reduced to 79 seconds. Speed increased. Lateral acceleration increased. From 1.9 to 32. What? Lateral acceleration is how fast the unit changes directions while moving. Increasing this will make the Mothership no longer lag behind army units of similar speed. Okay. That's quite the increase, right? This decimal point must not actually go there. I actually don't fully understand this, but okay. This note helps. Health shields reduced from 350 to 250. Radius model scale reduced by 20%. No longer has energy. Spells are now cooldown based and require no energy to cast. Oh, that's interesting. That makes it a little bit better against Protoss, against Terran, right? No feedback, no EMP to destroy it. Recall now has a 110-second cooldown. Recall radius down. Time warp 60-second cooldown. Okay. Time warp slow reduced. Oh yeah, because time warp was really destroying people. No, we never really see it, but if you start seeing it a lot, it could become really powerful. Time warp radius reduced from 4 to 3.5. Okay. Time warp cast delay reduced. Yep. Cloak field is no longer passive. It is now an activated ability which lasts for 10 seconds with a 50-second cooldown. That's cool. This is a cool overall idea for the Mothership. Bring it into the mid game, make it usable, make it actually stay with your army, make you actually think about the cooldowns of the spells, make it so it can't just be destroyed instantaneously. I like the ideas here. Reduce the investment and increase the maneuverability of the Mothership and prevent it from being hard countered by EMP. Should allow for earlier Mothership builds in all matchups, as well as more active usage of the Mothership. That's cool. Okay, I like this a lot. I like this a lot, because Mothership is pretty stupid right now. I think it's only useful for recalls, in my opinion, and when I watch people to use it for anything else, they're stupid. But this could actually make it useful in a lot of situations. That's cool. Okay. Sentry. Guardian Shield. Duration increased. Okay. Allows Guardian Shield to be precast before engaging Terran armies involving ghosts, lasting longer into the fight. That makes sense. I like it. Oracle. Stasis Ward. Sight range increased. Dude, Stasis Ward is already one of the best spells in the game. Seriously, Stasis Ward is unbelievable. It is an unbelievably underrated... And the thing is, I think everyone thinks it's good, but it's still fucking underrated. This is one of the greatest things that there is. The amount of games that get won because of a Stasis Ward, which costs 50 energy from a unit that scouts and harasses. Are you kidding me? Oh my god. Yeah, Protoss creep. Allows Stasis Wards to be used for more central map vision with Stargate-based openings. Dude, that's crazy. That's awesome for Protoss. Immortal. Barrier will now also block the first instance of damage which triggers the barrier. That's a good change. Immortals are already very good. That's a good change, though. It's so stupid when a tank shot hits it and then they don't target it. Right? It didn't do anything. Honestly, I think they should just put it back to how it was, where you can activate it yourself. I think that that was super high skill. Too many easy things, too much playing the game for you shit has been added. So I would prefer that, but this is a good change. Currently, EMP hitting an immortal will drain all of the immortal shields, as well as activating the barrier, which will generally expire before the immortal ends up receiving the other damage, making the ability lose value in the mid-game against Terran. Yeah, that's true. Okay, so overall, the Protoss one, let's just scroll through that once again real quick. Yeah, slight buff, slight buff. That's normal. Slight nerf to Disruptor. Fixing Void Rays. Tempest is a buff. Mothership is a buff. Sentry's a buff. Oracle's a buff. Immortal's a buff. So, some buffs for Protoss, but nothing that looks game-breaking. For Zerg, we like the ideas here for Zerg quite a bit. And for Terran, it all makes sense. And the Cyclone is super interesting now. I'm giving this patch a 9 out of 10. The ideas, right? We don't know exactly how it'll work out right now, but the ideas of this patch, 9 out of 10. Nerfing Baneling is huge, right? Changing the Cyclone is awesome. Nerfing Disruptor is huge. I love seeing these things. Trying to make the Mothership usable and the Cyclone usable. We love that. We love that. Adding speed to things, that's fun. That's good. That makes it more interesting, more dynamic games. Giving the Viper a buff, that's where we lose our point. That's where we lose our point. Because why would you ever do that? It's fucking silly. But yeah, I love it. I love it. I really hope this patch goes live. I would love to cast some games on this. So good job. Good job to whoever ended up making this, whether it was Alex007 or whoever. I'm sure it was a lot of people involved, but looks good.